I've got good news and bad news, and I've always found it's better to get the bad news first. Just go raw and no rubber and hit you with the cold water right away. Force feed you the vegetables so that way the dessert tastes even better. The bad news, I'm about to show you an insufferable asshole, perhaps one of the most miserable people to listen to on the planet. The good news, he's about to be arrested. Let me introduce you to Johnny. Johnny is the epitome of turbo virgin. I know this word gets tossed around a lot, but he is a self-proclaimed incel and one of YouTube's most prolific stalkers slash woman harassers. This goofy goober looks like if Raymundo from Rocket Power and Tommy Wiseau did a fusion dance and created the world's most socially inept asshole. Now Johnny's whole shtick was he would wait outside of bars, clubs, and even parking garages, literally just fucking live in parking garages until he saw the slightest hint of a human female nearby. And then he would get his phone out and start recording himself, following them, insulting them, and demanding they fuck him. And he'd follow them for what felt like miles. These videos would go on for so long, and always it would end up the same. Them threatening to get the authorities involved because they were literally scared for their lives around this guy because he was completely unhinged. And he continued this shit for about a year. I've known about his pitiful existence for quite some time, but just never really wanted to bring any attention to it for obvious reasons. But now, he pushed the envelope a bit too far and flew a bit too close to the sun, and his tiny little micro dick burned up. He actually assaulted a woman who defended herself from him. He pepper sprayed her, and it was after he instigated the entire conflict, and now that video has surfaced and the authorities have gotten involved and they're looking to arrest him and potentially charge him with assault with a deadly weapon, as well as a hate crime and the discharge of tear gas. The article also alleges that he was recently arrested after getting kicked out of a club with his friend, and while getting escorted out basically claimed white power and some other shit like that, which sounds par for the course for a fucking homunculus like this guy. Imagine evolving for millions upon millions of years and ending up like Johnny. What a bad fucking deal. Just an actual shit stain on the planet. But anyway, I'd like to show you the video that is going to lead to his arrest. What triggered it all here and started this chain reaction where finally it looks like he will no longer be terrorizing innocent people on the streets.
Can I hang out with you?
My guy just stole my car, so he's...
Where'd he go? Newport Coast? Huh? Can I hook up with you? What kind of vagina do you have? Is it an innie or an outie? Does it have beef curtains?
I'm gonna call the cops if you don't.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're annoying, dude.
Why are you calling me?
Because I wanna fuck.
That's his real voice, by the way. He's not putting on some kind of show, he's not playing a character. He genuinely sounds like one of the Looney Tunes character Inhaled Helium forever. It actually just sounds like he's making fun of a stereotypical incel demanding tendies from mommy. That is just his normal state of being. He does it unironically. Man's collected all the infinity stones of cringe and ascended to a level beyond pathetic. I'll go ahead and play the rest of the clip.
My fat ass cock is ready to get hard for you.
Cops are coming right
Why would you call the cops on me, bro? I'm just speaking.
It doesn't matter.
Fuck you, you little bitch, you little void. Oh, you little... Whoa, what's wrong with you? Chill out, chill out, chill out. Hey,
Back the fuck up.
chill out,
Back the fuck up.
chill out.
Back the fuck up.
Chill out, you just kicked me in the balls. You back up, you back up,
Back the fuck up.
you back up. Throw that at me, you're gonna...
It's an absolute shame that he didn't lose his footing and fall down the stairs in front of him. I've never prayed so hard for shoelaces to malfunction in my life. So yeah, the guy's obviously a coward. He carries pepper spray because he'll push people to the absolute edge, and when they finally do, like, defend themselves, he'll just pepper spray them. Now, of course, there's almost zero people in the world that like this guy and can stand to be around him. I imagine even his own parents drink themselves into a dreamless slumber every single night, just regretting the day that they conceived this failure. But I did see on Twitter a couple of people blame the woman here, saying she assaulted him first. Now, of course, Twitter is just this disgusting cum dumpster of the most brain-rotted clowns imaginable, but I did want to at least talk about it. There's such a drastic difference between throwing a shoe after being verbally harassed for however many minutes before filming, because he was doing this even before he started filming. This is only a piece of the video. To be harassed that long and then just respond by throwing a shoe is completely different than getting fucking pepper sprayed. It just can't even be compared. That's like if a kid shot a spitball at you and you responded by hitting them with a sledgehammer. Pepper spray is hardcore. It's a legitimately painful experience. From everyone I've ever known to be pepper sprayed, they have said it's the most painful thing they've ever experienced. Luckily, I haven't been pepper sprayed, but I know from what I've seen and the people that I know that it is something that isn't just laughed off or something trivial. So it's just not even in the same ballpark. And she did it in what I consider to be self-defense. This was like 3 a.m., the witching hour, don't summon Freddy Fazbear at 3 a.m. kind of shit. Like, this is haunted. This guy is hanging out at a parking garage in the middle of the night being fucking creepy and weird, saying things like my hard cock is ready for you and shit like that. You don't know what he's gonna do. That is a dangerous person. So to like get him away from you and throw a shoe, I think is like an appropriate response. And especially because he already proved you can't just walk away from the confrontation, because he had just previously followed a woman all the way to her car who was panicking, making up a story about having her car stolen and visibly uncomfortable and worried for her own fucking life. So her trying to scare him away like a pigeon on the beach was really like the only thing she could do to like diffuse the situation and make him stop. And then he responded by ruining his life with the pepper spray, because now he'll be arrested for it, and I cannot fucking wait. I think that is extremely exciting news that this guy is finally going to face some serious repercussions for this shit, because it's been going on for quite some time. He has a long history of doing this shit without remorse, and this is beyond deserved. I'd like to show you just one more clip that survived when his channel got nuked. This is just another example of the kind of shit that he would do on a regular basis.
Hey, are you single?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you single?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you think I'm hot?
Oh, I didn't say that.
You don't think I'm hot?
I can't even see you without my glasses.
Oh, really? Do you live here?
I don't even know here.
Do you want to hang out?
Probably not right now because I'm not even.
What are you gonna do later? Sleep? Can I come sleep with you? You don't want a massage?
No, I'm good.
Luckily, she eventually escapes from the 7th circle of hell there, but this was his content. This is all he would do. He would just wait to find women pretty much anywhere, really, and make them as scared and uncomfortable as possible and film it. That was his entire existence. That was his whole purpose. And now it's finally over. Can finally breathe a nice sigh of relief. You won't accidentally see this man sitting on a fucking park bench somewhere and ruining your day. So I just wanted to share the both bad and good news here. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, you have been lied to. For your entire life, you've been fed a fib. You've been living in a dimension of dishonesty. And I'm here to be the schoolyard bully who drags you back into reality, kicking, screaming, and coming. Pickup lines don't work. It's like the tooth fairy. They're not real. They're not effective. They're just weird. I know, that's a tough pill to swallow, but I'm giving you the cold shower you need right now. Is confidence important? Absolutely. No one wants to date some sad sack of shit. But it's not the only thing that matters. Which leads me to what I'd like to show you today. On TikTok, a lot of people have conflated confidence with pickup lines, and there's one man in particular I'd like to show you that I think is the perfect case study for why this is a bad thing. Pickup lines will never work for the majority of people in the world. Unless you are an actual chiseled Greek god, a pickup line is only going to serve to make you look creepy and dry up every vagina within a 5-mile radius. It's just a cringy, gross thing. Pickup lines only work in YouTube prank videos where it's all rehearsed and fake. But a lot of people don't seem to know that, so a guy on TikTok has been using pickup lines pretty much every day for the last month on strangers out in public, hoping to get their numbers or go on dates, and he's been rejected at least like 100 times now on camera, it feels like, in only a month, so he's setting a real world record here.
Hey, excuse me. Hi, I got you Pop-Tarts for looking so beautiful. What's your name?
I have a boyfriend.
You do?
Yeah.
What's your name though?
I don't...
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say you're pretty, okay?
Thank you.
You like my Pop-Tart line though?
Thank you.
It was good?
Huh?
My Pop-Tart pickup line, was it good?
Sure.
Yeah.
I ate Pop-Tarts.
Oh, you don't eat Pop-Tarts?
No, I don't.
Okay, have a good day.
I wasn't even in the shopping center at this time, but I honestly felt like I needed a shower just from even seeing the video. It's just so uncomfortable. You could tell the girl really just was dreading every second of that interaction. It only lasted about 35 seconds, but I bet it felt like an entire 24 hours worth of misery for her. And for him too. Like, this is a guy that, you know, if nothing else can be said about him, he doesn't stay past the rejection. There's a lot of pickup artists that always say, don't take no for an answer, as if they're like some kind of business student at a shitty university who gets the worst advice ever. You know, if you get rejected, you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing until you end up on the sex offenders registry. At least this guy, every time he gets rejected, he throws his hands up and he's like, oh, okay, then I'm done here. Then he says, thanks for your time, and then wishes them a nice day. Honestly, he's just like kind of a trick-or-treater, like, hey, thanks for, you know, the candy, I'm going home now. So that's great, and it shows me he has some level of self-awareness, but it's still some turbo creepy shit here, because he walks up phone in hand, recording them, and for some reason he always has the light on his phone. It was mentioned in like 4 of his TikToks, like, hey, are you recording? Why is the light on? And then he just denies it, like, no, I'm not recording, just lying about it. But yeah, so he comes up recording them, and then delivers some of the worst lines of all time. He calls this one the Pop-Tart pickup line, but it's not really like a classic pickup line. This is rather unorthodox, I suppose. All he did is approach her with a box of Pop-Tarts and said, I got you this for being hot, and then gets rejected.
Excuse me. Sorry, this is awkward, but I just had to say you're very pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, alright.
This was the rejection that started it all for this man. This was patient 0. The first time he went out in public and told a girl she was pretty. Came on pretty aggressive. She said thanks and then walked away. He walked away. You know, that's where that story ends. Not exactly a fairy tale ending. They didn't get married in the end or anything. But for some reason, this started it for him. This was enough to get him interested in continuing to pursue this as his main source of content.
Excuse me. Sorry, this is awkward, but you're very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Jasmine.
Jasmine? I'm Nigel. Oh, Jasmine, like the flower, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you do look like a flower.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just kidding. What are you up to?
My man panicked right there and hit her with the just kidding. That was the real-time equivalent of the classic, hey girl, you're super hot, I wanna fuck, and then 5 minutes later with no response, LOL, sorry, just kidding, that was my friend, that was on my phone, not me, I didn't type that, how are you? Like, you can't just throw that out there and then immediately backpedal like that. He just bailed instantly.
I really thought it said
Excuse me. Hey, I was just leaving the store. I had to tell you, you look so pretty.
thank you so much.
What's your name?
Cherry.
What are you up to, Cheryl?
Buying a charger.
Oh, buying a charger? What'd you do? Did you break your charger or what?
Losing them.
You're losing them?
Yeah, what store did you see me in? Are you recording right now?
Oh, no, I'm not recording. It's just the light. It's Ray-Bans. It blinks when it sees cute girls.
You're funny.
I really thought my man was about to run out of this store Looney Tunes style after getting caught red-handed recording. That's usually what's the creepiest part about these kind of interactions is they film themselves, like blatantly filming themselves recording the whole interaction. I don't know how they don't get called out more often for it, but it's super weird every time. But yeah, this was one of his more brave ones, just right in the middle of the store as she's trying to check out. You're pretty. Why are you buying a charger? No, I'm not recording. Yes, I have an erection. So what?
Excuse me. Hi, I'm sorry. I just had to tell you, you look so pretty.
Oh,
What's your name?
me?
Nee, what are you up to, Nee? I like that. What is that?
I don't know. What's it called?
Trying to get you tattooed on my arm. I'm just playing. How's your day going?
Good, yours?
Yeah, you don't get approached a lot? You look nervous. Am I making you nervous?
No, I did, but I just kept walking.
You got scared, huh?
No.
No?
This one's pretty fucking rough. I can only imagine how scary it would be to just have some random goofball sprinting up behind you and you can hear him coming too. He's really fee-fi-fo-fumming his way behind her, shouting, excuse me, and then you turn around and it's a guy recording and says you're pretty. That shit's just gotta be painful. Like dipping your nutsack in like piping hot boiling water. Like it just can't be an enjoyable experience. And even he recognizes that where he's like, oh, you look nervous. You know, you were probably scared. Did I make you scared? I'm sorry. You know, you were scared and nervous. Like he can even rationalize somewhere deep inside of him. Like, yep, this was pretty psychopathic shit. I probably did scare her.
Excuse me. Sorry. This is awkward, but I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you.
What's your name?
I'm actually in a hurry.
Oh, you're in a hurry? Yeah. Well, can I grab your number real fast, you think?
I do have a boyfriend.
You do? Oh, you're very pretty, by the way. Take it as a compliment, okay? Yeah.
This one was pretty cool because he performed it in front of an audience here. That guy in the back is very well aware of what's going on here, and he's got front row seats to the cringe Super Bowl happening in front of him. And you can see even he's cracking a smile from time to time after how uncomfortable this whole interaction is.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh my god, you're so pretty.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Lauren.
What are you up to, Lauren?
Nothing much.
Yeah? What you looking for?
Close.
I'm looking for your number.
I have a boyfriend.
You do? Alright then. Well, you're pretty, okay?
I swear to God, this guy has heard the word boyfriend more than he's ever heard his own name. Every time he walks up to a woman within 3 or 4 sentences, he's able to get them to say, I have a boyfriend, or sorry, I have a boyfriend. Like, I don't know how many times you can take that. Just stop. Just fucking stop. Stop using your pickup lines. Stop recording yourselves trying to, like, come on to women in a really creepy, aggressive way. Just stop it.
Excuse me. Hi. Do you know where the library is?
Yeah, if you go all straight, you should see it. So just continue straight across the bridge.
Oh my god,
and to your right.
the way you like pointed, you're definitely my type. I just playing. What's your name?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn, what are you up to, Jocelyn?
I'm actually really late to class.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
What class you got?
Nutrition.
Nutrition. Oh, I love that class. Okay, have a good day. Okay, thank you.
Well, I mean, you know, he tried. There was an attempt there. You know, the way you just pointed out the library makes you the girl of my dreams. You're definitely my type. Regular old Casanova. I have no doubt shortly after filming, the girl ran back and jumped into his arms.
So, which was the library? Sorry, I'm new here.
The library?
Yeah.
Just walk straight, like down. It's literally like, just walk straight and then it's like that big building right there.
Okay, you go here, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What's your name?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna walk by the library right now.
Oh yeah? You wanna walk me?
Yeah.
Sure. You're attractive.
Thank you.
What's your...
Unfortunately, in this one, he managed to run into an extremely nice person who was kind enough to invite him to follow her to the library because she thought he needed help getting there. And immediately upon receiving the invitation, he accepts it and gets super fucking weird about it. This will probably be the last time she offers to help a stranger find the library or anything of that nature. It goes on and on and on for like 30, 40 more videos maybe, I don't know, so many. And he's still going to this day. I think his most recent one was only like 4 or 5 days old as of right now, me making this video. So yeah, I just wanted to show this and let you know, pickup lines very rarely work, and going up to random women in public and being super creepy will never work. It's bad. That's about it. See ya. Whoa there, partner. Hold your horses. I bet you thought I had finally kicked my addiction to reading uncomfortable, cringy, weird text messages from the dating world. Well, do I have news for you, pal? I've only just begun on my bender here. I can quit anytime I want, it's not that big of a deal. I don't need electroshock therapy or any kind of mumbo-jumbo psychiatry to break me out of this rabbit hole. I don't have a problem. The only problem I have is that there isn't more of these for me to read, damn it. So anyway, let's begin. This morning, I hopped on and read 2 different stories here from relationships that fell apart in the most tragic and confusing of ways. So let's just dive right in. So we're reading from the perspective of the girlfriend in this relationship, and she's communicating with her boyfriend. They were coming up on their 3-year anniversary, but after this exchange, it all went right down the shitter. So it begins. Well, we're fucked. Pork chops went bad. My mom was getting ready to fry them and there was mold. To which the boyfriend just hits her with an okay. So she apologizes saying, I'm sorry, she's just gonna send me to get chicken alone because I already made mac. She's referring to mac and cheese, for those of you that don't understand the nomenclature there. Now, I think it's very important, as we go through this first story, that you know the ages of those involved. It's 25 and 27. The reason why I think that's important is because as we go through this story, I imagine most of you will assume that these are children, like literally 13 and 14-year-olds. But that's just not the reality of it. This guy is about to throw away a 3-year relationship and have a biblical meltdown over not getting some fucking pork chops. He continues giving her the ice treatment here, so he just goes, okay, no good. Actually speaking like a Neanderthal. She says, the pork chops were bad. We didn't know. I'm sorry. I tried to make you food. He just once again says, okay. She says, sorry again. And he just says, cool. So this guy, he's going catatonic right now. We're losing him. He's flatlining. He's starving to death because the pork chops went bad. What is he gonna eat now? He's only a fucking 20-something-year-old man. He can't fend for himself without these pork chops. He's gonna die. She continues by saying, I really tried. Once again, just hits her with that okay. This is actually just like out of One Punch Man, that famous panel where Boros is powering up and One Punch Man just goes, okay. That is his whole personality. So he just goes, okay. And he says, you left? Yeah, she sent me to get chicken. He says, okay again, to which she just says, well, okay. She continues to profusely apologize for this whole situation here, as if she did something wrong, even though she didn't. The pork chops just went bad. I don't know what he expects from her, to like sorcery away all of the mold or whatever on them, or somehow conjure up brand new pork chops from her ass, which is something she also mentioned in the comments, like, I don't know what he wanted from me. Like, she even went to get other food that he could consume. Chicken, mac and cheese, there were other options besides the pork chops, but his mind is set on one thing. Pork chops. He only has room in his noodle for one thought, and right now that thought is pork chops. So now that he realizes he's not getting them, he's about to go berserk over this whole situation here. Cool, you got to eat. I didn't for waiting on you. Good night. Okay, good night. I love you too. No, bro. Good night. I could have ate, but I waited on you. Of course. You could have just eaten regardless. So the poster here, she went into detail about all of the context around this. So apparently he had said he was going to go get food, and she mentioned that she was making pork chops with her mom later. So he said, oh, okay, well then I'll just eat the pork chops with you and your mom and I won't get food. To which she replied saying, no, you can still get food and you're also welcome to have these pork chops. But being the noble chivalrous man that he is, he put down the food that he was going to purchase and instead was going to eat these pork chops, which didn't end up happening. And when he didn't get served his pork chops on a golden platter, he just refused to eat, crossed his arms, kicking his legs in his high chair. Well, then I'm just going to starve. So even though she had other food that he could eat, the chicken, the mac and cheese, he just didn't. And then also didn't feed himself at any point throughout the rest of the night, I guess because he was still so fuming with steam coming out of his ears. And also, according to her in the comments, the reason he didn't eat the chicken and mac and cheese is because he only likes his chicken prepared in the most simple way ever. So he didn't like the way the chicken was prepared, and he also doesn't like mac and cheese, which is already giving me red flags. I don't know anyone that doesn't like mac and cheese in some capacity. That's making him seem already off his gourd, just from that simple fact alone. But yeah, he refuses to eat for the rest of the night, all because he couldn't have those pork chops. She says, I tried to cook, I didn't know they were bad, I couldn't have known until they defrosted. I don't care, bro, I shouldn't have waited. They made food, but I had to wait on you. Some bullshit. Good night. Oh my god, this insufferable, whiny asshole. Those pork chops must have been, like, heavenly, divine, like, to just give up food for the rest of the night and then ruin a 3-year relationship. Those pork chops gotta taste immaculate. Like, not only do they have to taste amazing, they have to come with legitimately life-changing benefits in order to have this kind of fucking tantrum over them. Like, taking a bite of those pork chops instantly chisels out your jawline a little bit further or something. I just don't know what kind of pork chops would be worth all of this anger. She apologizes again, saying, well, I'm sorry, good night, I love you too. Bro, stop telling me that. I am so tired of this guy saying bro to his girlfriend. He clearly has no respect for her whatsoever. He then throws a term out I've never seen before. He says UPMO. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that stands for, so I looked it up, and usually it's an abbreviation for Project Management Office. But that doesn't really fit in the context of this conversation. I imagine it has to be an insult. I don't think he just came out of nowhere saying, you Project Management Office. So it must stand for something else, but I still can't piece it together. Maybe you pussy monster outcast? I couldn't tell you. Never mind, now I can tell you. I just took an additional 10 minutes looking through Twitter to see anyone else who has ever used that abbreviation, and apparently it means you piss me off. Wow. Fucking oof. That is so cringe, Jesus Christ. But anyway, she says, I mean, I do, but okay, referring to loving him. And then he just says, I don't want to talk to you. And then she just says, okay, good night, I love you. He then comes back around as all of these unhinged weirdos do, where they're like, don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you, good night. And then he just keeps fucking going and going and going and spewing. So he comes back and says, at all. Not tomorrow either. I don't care. This is bullshit. Good night. You're fucking selfish. Fuck you for real. I really don't want to talk to you or see you. Honestly, I'll remember this. Good night. I mean, he's speaking like it's the Walking Dead Telltale game. Goofball will remember this. I mean, obviously he's going to remember this. You just had a fucking meltdown over pork chops. Everyone's going to remember this. So then she's confused, like, what did I do? You said you don't want to talk to me, so I'm leaving you alone. He then says, fuck you, please leave me alone. Get the fuck out. And then she just says, you're the one texting me just to say leave you alone. And then he again comes in, I don't want to talk or see you at all. And then she just, again, I didn't even respond to you. Okay, good night, I love you too. Just trying to get out of this conversation because he just keeps coming back to just say, leave me alone. Stop talking to me. Why aren't you talking to me? Hey, stop talking to me. I'm texting you one more time just to let you know. Don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. It's craziness. It's craziness. So this is the end of the text message screenshots, but the story continues. Right after this, the following morning, he continued this behavior, this attitude, and ended up dumping her because of this whole pork chop fiasco, which is a huge blessing in disguise for her because this is not a good partner. This is a crazy person. To have this level of blow up over not getting pork chops. Wow, that is some concerning delusion. So she does expand on it a little bit. He continued to insult her the following day before dumping her. So really just a piece of shit all around. And I just had to talk about this one because I don't think I've ever seen a relationship, at least of this long, 3 years. They apparently were saving up for a house. End over something so trivial. I haven't seen a relationship crumble over something so meaningless like this. This is a wild case here. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this one a little bit. I know I said I was going to do 2, but I've kind of been yapping about this one for quite a while now, so maybe I'll just save the second one for tomorrow and I'll let it be like a little teaser. I think that's what I'll do. This will be your little appetizer for tomorrow's, where I cover the other really unbelievably awful relationship crumbling text messages. But anyway, I feel bad for the girl here, but I am happy to know that they're not together anymore. I think that's a very good thing for her going forward. I know it's going to be tough for a little while, but wishing her the best. And for the dude in the story here, wishing him nothing but really bad mac and cheese and no pork chops for the rest of his life. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Let's just call it like it is. We'll be honest with each other, a little heart to heart. No reason to pull any punches. There's a lot of weirdos in Twitch chat. I might even be talking about you specifically. Maybe you're one of the goofballs I'm referring to. And unfortunately today, one of these weirdos crossed a line and became a criminal. A streamer by the name of Just Foxy had her car lit on fire by an arsonist who was a stalker of hers from Twitch chat. This deranged imbecile drove 700 miles to this streamer's house to try and meet her, I suppose, and then eventually set her car on fire. Brother, I wouldn't drive 700 miles to drink from the fountain of youth. This is crazy shit. This is unhinged behavior, obviously. I believe this is a case of a parasocial, obsessed fan. At least that's the impression I get from the story, because this kind of thing has unfortunately happened before in the past. It's horrifying.
I watched him put a brick on my car, on the hood, and some pot. And he lit something sticking out of it and walked away casually, like he didn't do anything. The next clip after that was the front end of my car engulfed in flames. The firefighters came very quickly, and I'm very thankful for that, because the fire spread to the fence and burnt the side of my house as well, which my mom and animals were inside of.
Now, Just Foxy does have security cameras around her house, and she was able to capture the entire incident. So this was a big say cheese moment, because she caught this guy in 4K for the Criminal Cringe compilation, and according to her, he was also arrested. But she hasn't posted anything about the individual or the arrest yet, because clearly it's an ongoing and very sensitive case. but she did post the CCTV footage from the event, so I'll go ahead and show you the raw footage of it. Goober alert, goober alert. He tries to put on like a disguise here, so he's got a mask and a hat pulled down real low, but it's pretty inefficient because it still looks like he's got some patchy-ass mutton chops there. So I'm pretty excited to see his mugshot to see what he looks like, though I can already wager a guess that it's not pleasant. So this little worm sets up the arson cupcake and lights the birthday candle and waddles away, and it engulfs the car in flames. This does not appear to be his first rodeo with arson. He was very casual about the whole thing. It also appears that this was premeditated. He traveled 700 miles with this as his primary goal, to light her shit on fire. Because this doesn't appear to be a contraption that he just MacGyvered together with like fucking sticks, glue, and spit. This appears like he traveled with all the materials he'd need to commit arson, though I'm not an expert, I'm just speculating. Obviously this whole thing is pretty traumatic, not only for just Foxy, but her family. I mean, like she mentioned, the flames did spread to the house, and the mom and animals were in the house at the time that all this went down. So just a really scary situation overall.
I just never thought that when I started streaming back in 2015 that something like this would ever happen to me.
It is super sad. It is something that most people aren't going to think about when they start streaming, because I imagine most people, myself included, go into a stream assuming that everyone that's watching them is just there to be entertained and nothing further. Everyone's, you know, mentally stable. There's not going to be any kind of fishy business or anything weird afoot. But unfortunately, it's just becoming more and more common for viewers to form this parasocial relationship with the content and the creators that they enjoy watching. And I think that plays a large part into a situation like this, where that parasocial relationship becomes an obsession. And then it becomes a stalker. And then it becomes this. And it's fucking scary. By no means is it just Foxy's fault. Unfortunately, this has happened a couple of times in the past. Like Amaranth, a little while back, had a stalker in a similar situation where the stalker drove fucking, you know, tons of miles to her house and lit her trash on fire to try and burn down her house. Literally just like fucking cremate the place she lives. Somehow that would work in his favor so they could live happily ever after or some shit. It's deranged. It's scary. Amaranth also had another stalker that sold all of his worldly possessions on the other side of the world, literally gave away all of his corporeal belongings, so that way he could move closer to Amaranth so he could stalk her more efficiently. It's fucking scary. There are people like that, unfortunately, on Twitch, and I feel like a lot of people outside of the streaming space don't really understand that. So I want to tackle a couple of conspiracies that have sprouted up from this whole situation, because somehow Twitter brain rot found a new way of shocking me with the stupidity. There were a lot of people claiming that this is all baloney. This is a bunch of nonsense mumbo jumbo. She's faking everything. There are people just outright denying that the CCTV footage was even real. They were literally covering their eyes and plugging their ears, like acting as though the CCTV footage doesn't exist of the guy literally burning her car down. So I don't even know where to start. You are too far gone if you think that this is somehow CGI or deep-faked. That's ridiculous. And then the next big conspiracy theory is that it's all an insurance scam from Just Foxy, which is a crazy take. Because for the insurance scam to have worked here, she would have shot herself in the foot by filming it, because now there is a person there. There is a person in the footage, and that person has been arrested, according to Just Foxy. And if this was all an insurance scam, that guy would squeal. He would absolutely be like, she paid me to do it, this is all just an insurance scam. Like, everything would crumble. It would be a terrible insurance scam idea to film your own insurance scam, which is why insurance scammers usually don't want the video evidence. Like, that's usually what unwinds and untangles a scam like that. So that would be a crazy plot twist if somehow this was all an insurance scam, because there would be so many things wrong with that theory. And then the other thing I keep seeing from people, which absolutely shows me the majority of the internet is actually 9 years old now, is them saying like, why does she care? She's got insurance. She'll just get the car right back, or, you know, things like that. What do you mean? Does insurance also cover the trauma of having a complete stranger go and set your shit on fire in the middle of the night and nearly kill your mom and dog as well? Like, what are you talking about? Even if insurance does cover the cost of the car, that doesn't take away the entire situation. That doesn't just erase the memories like a neuralizer from Men in Black. Like, that doesn't solve the situation. What the fuck? Like, you'd probably cry if somebody, like, came over and took a fucking Cheeto out of your bag of Cheetos that you're eating right now. Like, it doesn't make any sense to try and write off this whole situation. Like, who cares? Insurance is there for a reason. It's so fucking stupid. People are so desperate for everything to be an argument, or so desperate to feel special and intelligent, like I'm the only galaxy brain that was big enough to piece together the real puzzle behind the scenes. This is not a clear-cut case of arson like everyone seems to think. It goes much deeper than that. And then vomiting out the dumbest fucking ideas ever. It's just infuriating because on the video she posted about it, the comment section is an absolute mess. Pyrocynical made a video about this just recently, and he pointed out a lot of the comments, so I went to check, and there's even more now. Like, the video is heavily disliked with her just sharing her experience with this very awful event that happened to her. And there's so many people just saying she deserved it for being on Twitch, or it's all just a lie, it's ridiculous, you know, you won't fool me. It's so fucking dumb. There is no such thing as innocent until proven guilty here. I don't think she's guilty of some kind of conspiratorial giant insurance scam. That would be nuts. Like, all of it just is so ridiculous. I don't know how we got to this point where everyone wants to make everything a problem. Like, no, we can't agree that your car being set on fire and your house almost burning down is a bad thing. In fact, here's why it's a good thing and you deserved it. Like, what the fuck? Like, how terminally online and ill can you be to actually have that take? But yeah, horrible situation. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. This apparently happened like a week or so ago, and she just now released the information about it because she's been dealing with the aftermath of the situation. So I'm excited to see more details from the arrest because I really want to see the guy's mugshot. I'm very excited for that. And yeah, that's really about it. Terrible shit all around, and that's it. So yeah. I remember a decade or so ago, there was this trend where some creepy degenerate losers would go around in public and try and sneakily take pictures of women's panties by sliding their phone under their dress when they weren't paying attention. They treated it like they were Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell on a stealth mission trying to grab these photographs. And they'd take these pictures and they were called upskirts. If I remember correctly, there was even a Reddit community for that where they would proudly post this, which, by the way, is illegal. They were posting evidence of a crime they had committed on the subreddit. I'm pretty sure it got fully shut down, but right now there is like a Reddit upskirts community, but I think that's something totally different, like a phoenix that rose from those ashes, because it looks like those are upskirts that the people are taking of themselves for that community. But I do remember that there was a huge controversy about that a long time ago, and then pretty much overnight it disappeared. Just like Godzilla after a big rampage, it just vanished. I had never heard about upskirts again. I never read any headlines about anyone doing upskirts, getting like arrested or anything like that, until 2 days ago, with a Target creep who got caught on video taking an upskirt of another shopper. And it's become a pretty big story now. So when I first saw this, I thought it was fake. I thought it was like one of those rage bait things that TikTok does really often. Because it really looks, it's so over the top, like I really thought it was staged to be like a lesson, like, don't be a peeping Tom, don't be like this guy. But it turns out this is all super real. So he's now facing felony charges for this, obviously. I don't know why there's a watermark here though.
Excuse me, what are you doing? No, I just saw you put that underneath her dress. Absolutely you did.
No, ma'am, I really wasn't.
You absolutely did.
Ma'am, I really wasn't.
So, like, he looks pretty much right at her while she's filming, and he puts his phone under her dress. So I really thought it was like, oh, this is a skit. This is fake. But no, this guy is just that much of a brazen pervert. Degenerate. It's actually real. So I'll show you the follow-up in a second, but no, he actually leaves here in handcuffs. He is facing felony charges, and his whole life is ruined. Rightfully so, because who knows how many times he's done this. Upskirts are a crime. Like, you can't be doing that, obviously. He's a fucking degenerate. His legs shaking, that's wild. Oh yeah, hey, we didn't finish the video, yeah. And also, instead of leaving, he stays to try and, like, talk his way out of it. Like, he was trying to find all the right dialogue options in the tree to get the good ending, instead of just running away like most people like him. So he stays the entire time to get arrested.
I really promise I wasn't trying to do anything inappropriate. I wasn't. I really wasn't. I'm not like that.
Obviously you are. I literally have it on video.
But ma'am, I'm not. I really am not. Like, I know it might have seemed that way in like the
No,
video.
no. Okay, listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna wait for them to get here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Like, I was just trying to look
Nope.
at books.
I was just trying to look at books. Okay. That's what an interesting alternate theory there. He's just browsing some good reads. That's all. In the Pokemon cards section, where all the best books are. Does bro know porn exists? There's so many people like this though. It's for them. I think it's like the thrill of doing something like this. Like I imagine this probably isn't the only time he's done it. And apparently he had been following the lady filming around the entire time, which is why she's filming here, because she got a very creepy vibe from this guy. And then I guess at some point she de-aggroed him, so then he went to this girl, started following her, and then did this.
No, I have video of him sticking his phone underneath this lady's dress as she had bent over, videotaping her. And he followed me all around the store.
Okay. So...
We need to get police.
Okay, if you can go ahead and call them also.
Oh, they don't have the next one. But he gets taken away in handcuffs. But he gets taken away from the target with the police. Turns out he was like a very active member of the church, like the local church they were at. This and that. He tried to talk his way out of it. It has not worked, and now he's facing some super serious charges. But this was something that I found interesting. He keeps denying that he wasn't doing anything wrong. And he apparently showed the police his phone, like the recent pictures, and he didn't have any recent pictures, but I don't know if that also means videos, or if he also had time to delete them. Last I heard, they subpoenaed to get, like, his deleted information for forensic examination. And they also said this, too. Police say they have yet to discover anything inappropriate involving children. Yeah, he's a volunteer at the elementary school. Arrested and cuffed at a fucking library. Show some respect, brother. He's a target. Why was the lady taking a video in the grocery store? Perfect time to catch him. Damn it, it's a Target. It's not just a grocery store, and it's not just a library. Show some respect. But as she said, she was filming him because he was initially following her around in the children's section. She got a creepy vibe, so she started filming him and following him around and then caught that. This. Imagine the unexpected turn of events, he didn't film anything. The charges against that poor lady would be crazy. Even if in the most unlikely of circumstances he didn't film anything, him putting the phone under this lady's dress still shows the intent. Like, even if he didn't hit record, like he missed it, he still showed the intent. And even if you can't arrest him for that, he's still going to be ostracized from like his church community and like his friends for that. That's creepy shit no matter what. I don't think he was recording. I think they hear the click of a photo being taken. Nope. Actually, I don't know if this is true. Chat can tell me if this is true or not. When I was reading through the story after I found out it was real, I learned that this was a pretty popular thing overseas. So I think in Japan, I think is where it was, they instituted this mandate that if you're taking a picture or a video, it has to have a sound. So you can't do this discreetly anymore because it makes a sound. And I thought that was the craziest shit. That's real? That is true? That's wild. It was that big of a problem, huh? US supermarkets have the same energy as random encounters in GTA. My dad died taking an upskirt photo. Alright. Interesting meme. So he's actually facing some additional charges as well for secret peeping. They issued a warrant after identifying 3 separate victims at the store on Monday morning, so he's facing 5 counts of secret peeping in total. Dude was really creeping and peeping on a Monday morning here. Allegedly 3 separate victims? Goodness gracious, Jesus Christ. He was just sliding his phone under everyone with a pulse at this store, I guess. But anyway, he's been caught red-handed here. He would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling iPhones that can also record him as well. Like, the crazy thing about a phone is it can be used for more than just filming panties. It can film you filming panties. So I guess we'll see what happens here. I highly doubt there's any alternate explanation for what he was doing in this video. I can't think of a single possible other reason for why he did what he did there aside from upskirts. That's the only logical thing. I can't even think of some kind of ridiculous theory. Never mind, scratch that. I did come up with a ridiculous theory. What if he wasn't grabbing upskirts there and instead saw a very venomous spider on the ground? He saw a black widow and he got down there calmly as to not scare the shopper or scare the spider away and then smashed it with his phone. Who knows? Maybe that's the story. Maybe that's what he did. He squished a bug and saved the day. Obviously, I'm fucking kidding with that. The only thing that can explain his behavior here is that he is a sexual degenerate that was grabbing upskirts. So I guess we'll see what charges stick here or what comes from this story. That's really about it. I just wanted to share it. That's it. See ya. If you grew up during the 90s or the early 2000s, there's an extremely high chance that you watched some of Dan Schneider's shows. It was like impossible to avoid him. It'd be like trying to dodge raindrops during a thunderstorm. Dan Schneider during this period was the king of children's television programs. He made some of the most influential productions like Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show, iCarly. His resume is just stacked with tons of shows that I imagine meant a lot to many of you growing up. And make no mistake, you meant a lot to the creator of these shows as well. Well, not so much you, but your feet certainly did. The creator of these shows is a monstrous foot fetishist, Dan Get in the Van Schneider. He is a vile, creepy, disgusting human being, and this has been known for years. However, a new docuseries just dropped really diving into this subject matter and putting a spotlight on it in a way that hasn't previously been explored. It's called Quiet on Set. Now, if you don't know what Dan looks like, here's a nice picture of him here. He looks like he was made in the Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator. And Dan Schneider has become the face of Quiet on Set. However, it actually explores more than that. It's like a whole deep look at all of the horrible things that were going on during these Nickelodeon productions. It's more than just Dan, but he obviously plays a central role here because he made these shows. He was the head honcho of most of this, and he was well aware of some of these terrible and downright criminal things that were going on behind the scenes on some of these shows. And the reason I mention the foot fetishism off rip here is because that was one of the first things that people really caught on to in the public eye. After Dan's glory days at Nickelodeon, people started to pick up on how odd it was that a lot of these children's shows had an emphasis on feet. Pretty frequently, it was a common thread throughout a lot of these shows, like feet humor and having these child actors and actresses displaying their feet. And in 2013, one of the shows Dan worked on, Sam and Cat, actually ran a competition where kids were supposed to submit pictures of their feet to them. Like, that's weird. No matter how you spin it, that's a really weird thing to request from your audience of children, to take pictures of their feet for you. That's just downright creepy and wrong. I can't believe that tweet is still up, by the way, over a decade later, and no one thought to delete that. That is impressive. But anyway, people started to pick up on Dan's fixation with stompers, and it seemed like his fetish was bleeding into his work, and he was having the children unknowingly participate in it by having them display their feet. That's what it seemed to a lot of people, so it was obviously very concerning, so people did more and more digging. They found more and more evidence of Dan being an awful piece of shit behind the scenes with a lot of shady things going on there, and it just led to this reputation that people for years have known that Dan blows loads to toes Schneider is not a good person. And now Quiet on the Set has released, and so much information has come out, not just about Dan, but about that entire Nickelodeon workplace around these child stars. Arguably the largest piece of new information that dropped during this docuseries was the sexual abuse of Drake Bell by someone named Brian Peck. So Brian Peck was a coach at Nickelodeon whom was sexually abusing Drake Bell, and he was actually convicted in 2004. He spent 16 months in the slammer, and then immediately upon release, landed a job with Disney. If that doesn't show just how rotten to the core this industry is, I don't know what will. There is deep-seated evil in Hollywood. He went to jail for lewd acts with a minor. He is a sex offender, a convicted sex offender, and he immediately got a Disney Channel job working on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? What the fuck? That's mind-bogglingly evil. Like that's not just irresponsible, that's malicious. It's not like they just made some kind of mistake where they put a sex offender in a role where he works almost exclusively with children. Like it's not like they made a whoopsie-daisy, they just happened to overlook that he's a sex offender. They knew. They would have to know, and they still hired him for that role regardless. That's scary. That's terrifying. They're actively enabling a fucking sex offender to potentially prey on more children. Drake also described that when he went into court, Brian Peck had the support of some very powerful and familiar faces. There were 41 character letters written to the judge asking for leniency for Brian Peck. 41 letters of support from industry personnel that were trying to get a lighter sentence for Brian Peck, even knowing that he is guilty of the crimes for which he is about to face the punishment, asking for a more generous sentence. These weren't just 41 pieces of toilet paper with nonsensical scribblings on it from nobodies. These were 41 character letters that were submitted by industry personnel, some of whom were high up on the food chain, so these things carried weight, and they're advocating for someone who is guilty of sexually abusing a child. Holy shit. They just viewed it as not a big deal, I guess. Listen, Judge, I understand Brian Peck diddled a child. Who at Nickelodeon hasn't? Are you really gonna throw him away or put him away and throw away the key for that? What about season 3 of Drake and Josh? What actually matters here? Let's think about that. Like, this is crazy to me. It almost stops being surprising learning that Brian Peck landed a job at Disney right after his 16 months in prison for this crime, because it seems like that entire industry just does not give a fuck about the safety of kids to begin with. So like I said, Quiet on Set isn't just about Dan Schneider and all of the awful things that he has done. It's about how awful that entire industry itself is. But once again, Dan Schneider does still play a large role in this docuseries, highlighting the bad workplace and environment that he would cultivate, the weird shit that would go on in like the writer's room and the way he'd treat some people, just a whole plethora of different bad stuff. And in response to all of this, Dan Schneider himself actually stepped out from the shadows, leaving his little gopher's hidey hole and addressing it head on in one of the most painfully scripted and staged apology video interviews I've ever seen.
Hey, it's Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay.
The interview is not conducted by a professional. It's conducted by a former actor in one of Dan Schneider's shows, and he is not equipped to handle something like this. This is the biggest load of baloney. Like, this is just some straight up fucking malarkey. There is no pushback from Boogie on anything in this interview at all. It's just strategic softballs designed to give Dan Schneider some kind of sympathetic PR win here, where he comes out of this looking better, where he comes out of this like not the bad guy. It's so deplorable that they'd even try something like this with a straight face. I think it is extremely transparent what this is, and I'm happy to say pretty much everyone saw straight through this. This did not give Dan Schneider the dunk I think he was expecting it to. This did not make him look any better in the public's eye. It actually just made it look even more sinister that he was able to, it seems, pre-prepare this interview to mitigate the potential fallout from the docuseries airing.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses.
It starts with what's supposed to be this moment of taking accountability. Dan Schneider is just point blank apologizing and, you know, holding himself accountable for the sins of the past type vibe. Except he's really not. Like, these aren't things that you just, like, hand wave away with like a simple apology. A lot of what was reported is like unforgivable bad shit. Like there's really no way of apologizing for the things that Dan Schneider has done and also been accused of. So it's just, it feels so fucking insincere. And Dan Schneider got away with it, and it seems will continue to get away with it. So he loses nothing by doing something like this, which just makes it frustrating to see him parade around pretending like he cares now all of a sudden. Like, it's extremely easy for him to just be like, oh yeah, that was bad. I feel bad for that. Oh, what a regret. Yep, not good. Like, it's just, I would have liked if the interviewer was someone that would legitimately dive into a lot of these things and actually press him on a lot of these things. This interview never even addresses the things that people want to hear from Dan on, such as like the sexualization of the children in those shows. Even outside of all the foot stuff, Dan included some very inappropriate things in his programs, such as Ariana Grande milking a potato, and then another scene with her getting like splashed with water and shit. Like, all of it was very unacceptable and seems to sexualize the child actors and actresses in his productions. And that was never even brought up in this interview. So this interview just, it doesn't have any real substance to it. It is legitimately just a scripted PR play from Dan.
I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am. Yeah. So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last thing I want to ever do is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense.
This is him addressing a question that Boogie asked about like inappropriate jokes in there without getting too deep into the weeds, just a broad subject of some of these jokes have aged poorly and people look at them as inappropriate for a child audience. How do you respond? The most softball way of asking this question, mind you, and his response was, cut it. Just get rid of it. I don't want it in the show. If it's aged bad and it makes people uncomfortable or, you know, this and that, cut it. And Boogie's like patting him on the back for it, like, oh my goodness, wow. That's so benevolent. What a great solution. Yeah, that makes sense. What the fuck? It's so easy for him to say that now, but it doesn't take away the fact that you filmed it. If you cut Ariana Grande milking a potato type shit, if you cut some of the foot stuff that you included in there, it doesn't change the fact that you still had the child actors and actresses doing that shit and were sexualizing them. It still happened. That's still bad. Cutting it from the final product doesn't erase what you did. It's so frustrating that there's no pushback on any of this in the interview. He just gets to let him say his piece and then get applause for it. It's so stupid.
And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. 41 of those people wrote letters for Peck, character letters, praising him for who he was and asking for leniency, and they knew that he was guilty. They knew he had confessed to some degree, and they still did this. But Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, would you help me with my speech for the judge? And I said, of course. And I did.
Dan Schneider's fishing for the Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Award for the best fake crying. It feels super forced and super insincere. Him tearing up while talking about this story. This is him talking about the Drake and Brian Peck case, where he mentions 41 people wrote those letters and it baffled him. And then Drake's mom actually asked him to help her write her piece, which he did. And that leads me to a question of, if you knew all this, why didn't you back up Drake Bell? The way it's described, Brian Peck had all of these people in his corner, but Drake really only had his mom and his brother. Why weren't you more involved then? Like, I imagine that could have been extraordinarily helpful. But regardless, this interview doesn't do anything to change my perception of Dan Schneider, or anyone else's, really, I imagine, because it's still nothing. This isn't really an interview, it's just a PR piece, disguised as an interview. It's just more despicable garbage here. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Again, the docuseries is called Quiet on Set. It's out now. And yeah, just kind of wanted to go over it a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Hey, it's that magical time again where we get to point, laugh, and shoot spitballs at a creepy degenerate being weird to a woman. So I hope you've done all of your smile exercises, because we're gonna be putting a big ol' grin on that face and having a hoot and a holler at this guy's expense.
So, crazy, silly question, but I'm just curious. I know you don't like coffee, and I know you don't, and I know you eat cereal in the evening. Yeah. And I know you have a son, right? Yeah. And I know you're about early 30s.
So Goober approaches this woman who's on the leg press machine, and he immediately just starts listing off things he knows about her, which just sounds like some stalker shit. Like, it sounds like a mission out of Hitman, where Agent 47's being given a dossier and going over his target's interests and like where they might be so they can plan out the assassination. This is just like such a creepy, cold open here. I know I'm reading way too deep into this situation and it's starting to get dangerously delusional, but for some reason when I first saw this clip, it immediately reminded me of a climactic moment in an action movie when the villain is monologuing to the hero like a fucking phone call. I know you don't like coffee. I know you're in your early 30s. I know the FBI is listening to this call right now. I know you have a son. His name is Mark. He attends Biff Gilmore High. Do this task for me. And all the agents listening to this, stay out of it. And nothing has to happen to Mark. It's just a really odd, peculiar play here. This is definitely not a play that John Madden would draw up. To just approach her and start listing off all the things you know about her, it's just weird. I'm assuming she and him have talked before, which is why he knows all this. They probably have, like, small talk. They're probably on friendly terms. I don't think he's been, like, perusing her Facebook trying to digest all of the lore that she publicly posts about herself there. But it's still weird to then come up and just start, like, spouting it all back to her about everything you know.
That's what I've learned so far. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I think you're really cool. I know you have a son. I'll tell you, you know, straight up, like, I kind of sort of married, like, I kind of feel like I am.
You know how everything has an opposite? Wet, dry, light, dark, matter, antimatter? This guy is anti-charisma. He is the exact opposite of Riz. Like, this dude legitimately has less game than someone that is asleep. He is stumbling through whatever he was cooking up in his noodle here, and it is extraordinarily uncomfortable to listen to. It's like the first draft of a book report where there's still a ton of typos and grammatical mistakes and nothing's making sense, it's all scatterbrained. That's what's happening through this whole exchange. And yet he still is able to squeak out that bombshell there that he's actually married while actively hitting on this woman. And you can see the shock and surprise on her face to learn that little nugget of information about this guy. If I had to speculate a guess, I would imagine he's been flirtatious in the past, which is why she's even more surprised by it. So he's just a big scumbag piece of shit here for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's something about you that's really cool. Like just casual, but I don't know if you would have pizza with me sometime or something.
I'm pretty sure your wife is not a pretty.
Good golly, heavens to Betsy, this guy fucking sucks at talking to women. He is speaking to her like he is still in middle school. He just keeps repeating, I think you're cool, I think you're really cool. Like, I have expected him to just go even harder on that, like, I actually think you're epic. Do you want to come over and see my Fortnite, KD? And then we can grab a pizza. Like, there's nothing wrong with a pizza date, I want to be clear there. But it's just this combination of, you're so cool, cool, let's get pizza. Like, that's what I imagine a 12-year-old thinks romance is like. You're cool, get pizza with me, I'll have my mom order Papa John's. Like, what the fuck? It sounds like he's about to bring up cooties. Like, I don't even care if you have cooties, it's okay. Like, he sounds like a fucking child talking to her through text messages. Like, circle yes if you like me, if you like me. Oh, it's so bad. Honestly, this might be inspirational for someone out there. It doesn't matter how awkward or uncomfortable you are, you could still find a partner. Somehow this guy has a wife. Somehow this complete fucking turbo loser has a wife. And now he's trying to cheat on her. So don't be like this guy, but at least let this be known that you don't have to be the most charismatic person out there or be the most socially adept at speaking to other people to find a partner. So maybe there's a little positive spin there. But anyway, back to spitting and shitting on this goofball. The lady here is being extremely sweet about this whole thing as opposed to just splashing the cold water on him and saying, get the fuck away from me. She is tiptoeing around this, probably because she doesn't want to make a scene out of it. Most women usually try and let someone down in a nice way, because if they don't, it could get dangerous. Like, there's no telling how unhinged this guy is. He's trying to fucking cheat on his wife, and he's being brutally honest about it. He is a weirdo. So it's definitely the smart call to just be like, oh, I don't think your wife would approve of us getting pizza or going to play laser tag or whatever other childish fucking offer you were about to make. Like, her being nice about it is the optimal move, but it also keeps her wrapped up in this conversation, unfortunately. So I feel so fucking bad for her because he continues to press, and he's already interrupted her workout. So I imagine it's just this giant fucking headache, this huge annoyance because this uncomfortable miasma of cringe has approached her and won't leave. Like the storm just will not pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Not your front, but yeah.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Right, no. That's why I said.
Yeah.
That, I wanted to be. Yeah, but I won't say unfortunately, because being married's good. But sometimes sometimes you meet somebody that just doesn't.
Bingo. Peekaboo, I see you. I was so curious what this guy looked like. I was freeze framing on every single goddamn pixel of this thing, trying to catch just a glimpse of him here to finally get this Bigfoot photo with him peeking in the top right there. I always get so curious in situations like this. What does the person look like who's conducting themselves this way? I know it's not important, but for me, a mystery like this sometimes just needs a little bit of closure. Anyway, he continues with his speech. I don't want to say unfortunately, because being married's great. I love it. But sometimes need something with a little bit more of a connection. A man like me can't be hunkered down to just one woman. You know what's better than one pussy? My wife's? Your pussy. That's 2 vaginas. Double the fun. What say you to that? Come get a pizza with me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, but yeah, like it's my connection wouldn't be your connection. I'm married.
Hopefully it does lose faith in men and humanity, right? Like it makes us scared women to ever want to get married because we don't know if they're out of the gym doing that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't blame you if I'm mad at you. At least you're honest, but
He's going into full car salesman pitch mode right now with the hard sell. My connection's your connection. Buy 2, get 2 free. Come on now. What are you waiting for? The deal's depreciating. Come on. It's, what are you doing? And she is doing her absolute best to be nice here. She is doing everything she can to be, sweet in this situation. To try and, just get through this as pain-free as possible so she can go back to working out, which is what she went there to do. Oh my god, it's so fucking rough. And the guy just keeps going.
No, for sure. Oh no, I mean, I wouldn't, have not told you, Up to this point, I just kind of said hi and let it off, and that's it. And I was, I was thinking, really, when you think about it, it's unfair even to, you also. So, what the hell? What's the point?
The way he just blabbers on and gets all jumbled up on each word reminds me of that viral meme of that kid who was doing a line reading but accidentally messed it up. Have you ever had a dream where you could, and you never want, but you could, and you never, but do it so bad? Like that? That is his entire statement to this woman here. Just a bunch of gobbledygook.
I mean, probably the best scenario is, and I'm not saying this will ever happen, but seriously, if you knew my wife and you know what I mean, we were all friends, that's different.
Yeah.
But and you actually would like her. Very likely. Yeah. You'll probably meet her sometime. Actually, she hasn't been, but she does come sometimes. So when we're here and I see you, I'll introduce you.
That's where our adventure ends. And man, what a journey it was, huh? I don't know where to begin with that closing statement. If only you knew my wife and we were all friends, that's different. You'll probably meet my wife at some point. You'll fucking love her. I mean, she's great. You'll love her. In fact, my wife would actually love if I cheated on her with you And that can happen after you meet her. You know, I'll just introduce you next time that she's here. And we can talk about how I was trying to cheat on her by taking you on dates. And I think we'll all have a good laugh about it. We'll all become great friends. And then it's all smooth sailing. Just a fucking weirdo, loser, degenerate creep. Pretty impressive one here. So, yep, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. See ya.